Good evening, everybody. My name is Chloe Osterman, and in this group of Group 5, it's Emma Schmidt, Nate Kasparic, Naomi Wittig, and Riley Dirk. And today, we will be talking to you about Base Hospitality Group. Base Hospitality is focused on serving both local Michiganders and tourists exploring the natural beauty and culture of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It's a region that's known for its outdoor recreation, lakes, and northern charm. Their mix of budget motels, waterfront inns, boutique-style lodging, and restored historic hotels offer diversity lodging for different kinds of travelers, from the budget-conscious to those seeking more comfort or a more immersive UP experience. For a table of content, today we are going to talk about the stakeholder and cultural insight. We're going to then dive into the triple bottom line and ESG strategy. We'll follow that up with a marketing and communications plan. We'll follow that with our implementation plan and KPIs, and then we'll finish up with our conclusion and key takeaways and our reflection questions. About Base Hospitality. The purpose of Base is to provide a high-quality, sustainable hospitality experience that elevate the guest experience. Employees are often told to exceed expectations every day with everything you do. Base Hospitality is located in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. However, their properties are spread throughout. Base Hospitality boasts 6 properties in Marquette, 1 in Sault Ste. Marie, 1 up in the Keweenaw Peninsula, and 1 in Munising. Their target customers are environmentally conscious people. To operate a business that minimizes the environmental impact while maximizing community benefit. That is the central sustainability purpose. And why does this matter? Our company creates meaningful guest experiences while reducing waste, promoting local suppliers, and promoting environmental stewardship.
Organizational ethics and values are the guiding principles that shape how a company behaves, makes decisions, and interacts with employees, customers, and community. The values and how well they are upheld determine the culture of the workplace. Base Hospitality's mission is to bring extreme hospitality across the Upper Peninsula. For them, ethical motivation comes from seeking to uphold their promise to the market to provide the best experience possible at their locations. Their values of integrity and compassion directly align with the desire to give their guests an enjoyable stay. For the business to be truly successful in the long term, Base Hospitality has to show the public through their actions that they follow the stakeholder theory. Upholding this means keeping in mind that every business decision affects a variety of people. This includes individuals that benefit and those that have costs imposed on them. Base Hospitality has a wide array of stakeholders, and we split every group that is affected by Base Hospitality's decisions into 4 separate categories to make it easier to understand and evaluate the importance and role of each group. The first of the 4 groups is the people deemed to be high influence and low interest. These are the stakeholders that impact the business but are not involved in sustainability initiatives. Under this category are Base Hospitality's major suppliers and distributors, property owners and landowners, local media outlets, and Travel Marquette, which is a tourism marketing organization. The next stakeholders were placed into the high influence, high interest category. These are the stakeholders that directly affect Base's ability to implement sustainability practices and organizational goals. This includes customers, so tourists and often students of NMU and their families, employees, management, investors, local government, such as health inspectors and licensing officials, and operational partners like tourism support organizations. The stakeholders with low influence, low interest are those with minimal but relevant connections to the company. Competitors such as other hotels or rental homes and delivery platforms are included in this category. The final stakeholders care about sustainability efforts but have limited decision-making influence. This is why they are categorized as low influence, high interest stakeholders. These would be the local residents, community events groups, and part-time employees.
All right, an explanation and application of triple bottom line. Ever since the economic expansion of the 1960s, the United States has experienced a massive rise in industrial production, global trade, and corporate growth. During this time, economist Milton Friedman became one of the most influential voices in shaping corporate purpose. In his well-known 1970 essay, The Social Responsibility of Business is to Increase Its Profits, Friedman argued that a company's only obligation is to maximize shareholder wealth as long as it follows the law and basic ethical norms. This profit-first mindset dominated business thinking for decades. However, as we move through the 21st century, the limitations of that perspective have become increasingly clear. Rapid industrialization has contributed to environmental degradation, climate change, and rising inequality, problems that profit alone cannot solve. Today, companies operate in a world where stakeholders, not just shareholders, are affected by business decisions. Communities, employees, ecosystems, and future generations all feel the impact. Because of these challenges, a business can no longer measure success solely through profit. Modern organizations are expected to consider their broader responsibilities to people and the planet. This shift has led to the rise of frameworks like the triple bottom line, which stands for people, planet, and profit, and ESG assessments, which evaluate companies on environmental stewardship, social responsibility, and ethical governance. Long-term success now depends on balancing profitability with sustainable and reasonable practices. This brings us to our next slide, how we evaluate these responsibilities using an ESG scorecard. All right, what an ESG scorecard is and how it works. An ESG scorecard is a tool used to measure factors of a business to analyze how sustainably responsible they are. There are three categories: environmental, social, and governance. It does not solely focus on financial results, but a firm's real-world impact. The environmental category for base hospitality looks at energy use, water use, proper lighting fixtures, waste reduction, and pollution prevention. The social category examines employee treatment, workplace safety, inclusion, community engagement, and customer satisfaction. Governance focuses on ethical leadership, transparent reporting, and anti-corruption standards. Each criterion receives a score on a scale of 1 to 5, which are then averaged to form an ESG score for that category. The category scores are then averaged again to make that final ESG score, which provides a clear picture of a company's sustainable and ethical practices. All right. Now slide 3, ESG scoring applied to Base Hospitality Group. So the environmental section got a 2 out of 5. We gave Base Hospitality a 2 because there is very little publicly available information on environmental practices. We found no clear evidence of waste management systems, recycling programs, or even energy efficiency initiatives. Our recommendation: adopt formal recycling programs and improve transparency in environmental reporting. And the social section got a 4 out of 5. The company scored a 4 because its job postings list competitive wages and benefits, showing commitment to employee welfare. However, there is limited information on long-term development or wellness programs, preventing a perfect score. Our recommendation: expand employee development and wellness initiatives. In the last section, the governance section, that got a 5 out of 5. Base Hospitality earned a 5 due to the strong, experienced leadership with clear backgrounds in hospitality and development. We found no governance-related concerns, and the company appears stable and ethically structured. And our last recommendation: just keep maintaining strong leadership. Finally, in my last slide, ESG risks and opportunities. For Base Hospitality, these ESG risks represent more than scores. They highlight both opportunities and risks. Improving environmental performance can strengthen the brand, reduce operational costs, attract eco-conscious guests, and increase investor confidence. If Base Hospitality does not measure ESG factors and ignores them, the company risks harming its stakeholders, including employees, customers, and investors. Additionally, poor environmental practices can lead to regulatory fines or reputational damage. Weak social policies can hurt employee morale and retention, and inadequate governance can make the company less trustworthy to investors or the guest itself. The implementation of these ideas mitigate these risks.
Imagine a future where Base Hospitality guests no longer ask whether our hotels are sustainable. They simply trust that we are. This campaign is designed to earn that trust through transparency, measurable action, and genuine community impact. Our sustainable story must be honest, specific, and supported by real progress. Avoiding greenwashing means clearly stating that what we are doing now, what we are working towards, and where we can improve. By integrating eco-friendly products and practices, such as efficient lighting, water-saving fixtures, and responsibly sourcing our products, we reduce waste and meaningfully lower our carbon emissions. Inclusive and accessible design ensures every traveler feels welcome and connected to the communities they visit. And by sharing clear, measurable data with guests and shareholders, we demonstrate real results and strengthen our accountability. Technology and data privacy are also essential to responsible hospitality. We will help guests and employees understand how our systems work and when data is collected. To collect privacy, we discourage data collection during in-person sales and limit it to online purchases, where customers see clear disclosures. Because surveillance is standard for safety, employees will receive transparent information about system use and footage handling. AI adds another layer of responsibility. We will limit its use to basic templates and grammar support, clearly labeling any AI-assisted content. We will avoid AI-generated imagery altogether, instead promoting our local artists and preserving the Upper Peninsula's small-town character while supporting our creative community.
Our ideas for Base Hospitality's implementation will be best measured over the course of a year. This will happen in 3 distinct phases: implementation, marketing, and evaluation. The first 3 months will be spent implementing the ideas we have for sustainability and ESG. This will include biodegradable options for guests, informal recycling and waste programs, implementing efficient water fixtures, and publishing transparent sustainability reports. Base has great leadership and structure. They scored a 5 out of 5 on our scorecard. So disseminating new information throughout the organization will be easy for them. The following 3 months will be where they begin marketing these new values they've implemented. They can utilize their own website and social media to do it to be most cost effective, while also partnering with local media outlets or even Travel Marquette. The last 6 months is the third phase, evaluation, wherein Base Hospitality monitors the success of their implementations. We suggest this take place at a specific time of year, given that tourism is most active during the summer. As such, the first phase ought to be from October to December, the second from January to March, and the third phase during the busy time of year, April to September. There are key performance indicators that can be used to compare to previous years. Environmentally, information from waste and energy audits throughout the 6 months to analyze if there is an overall decrease in waste produced and energy protected. Socially, monitoring employee satisfaction and customer reviews and feedback would be positive than in more previous years. And financially, we believe our implementations would also increase profits, since more people would be inclined to come to Base Hospitality's locations if they were more sustainable and engaged in the community. More sales would be evidence of our campaign success. All these metrics ought to be measured not only at the end, but in a monthly report throughout this 6-month-long phase, so they can be compared not only to previous years, but to different points along the campaign. Monthly reports to see how our implementations put value into the organization. Base Hospitality Group is a huge player in the hotel game throughout the Upper Peninsula. And according to Michigan Economic Development Corporation, annual visitor spending is as high as $1.6 billion. Base Hospitality is at the forefront of this spending, so their business is crucial. The most significant reason for travel to the UP is the beautiful nature and outdoor activities. So placing a high ethical value on sustainability will be important to set it apart for its target audience. In doing so, Base Hospitality could have profit growth in the billions in the years to come while protecting the planet and its people. Our recommendations to Base Hospitality would significantly improve their operations. But how do you feel? What have you learned? We've created a brief survey with some reflection questions. Please scan this QR code and respond. We would love to hear your thoughts on our ideas for Base Hospitality Group. Thank you all so much for your time. We really appreciate it and hope you have a lovely winter break.